Hello, BookTube. We got more mail. A little more mail. We're still going to keep these videos under a controlled length of time. Although this one is box heavy, so it could be squeal heavy. But it's only a few packets, so we'll get right through them, with minimal palaver, and we'll be done. Okay, the first one is a finished copy of a novel by Laird Hunt. I think it comes out this month. Yes, this is the finished copy of In the House, in the Dark, of the Woods by Laird Hunt. Which I think we saw on this channel already. It's an ingenious horror story set in colonial New England. A woman goes missing, or not missing. Perhaps she has fled, abandoning her family. Or perhaps she's been kidnapped and set loose to wander in the dense woods of the north. Alone and possibly lost, she meets another woman in the forest, and that changes everything. I have the advance and I haven't got to it yet. It's a familiar refrain on this channel for October books. I will get to it. It's nice and small. It's an hour's read. So let's move on. What is this next one here? Okay, this is from 7th Street Books. They're a great publisher of murder mysteries. This is the finished copy of something I think we saw it. It's an October book. It's Dig Your Grave. By Stephen Cooper. And I think we've seen this already. Yes, a killer is on the loose, leaving fresh bodies among the dead in Phoenix cemeteries. Remember, that was the gimmick that was so arresting when we first heard it, is that there are new bodies in cemeteries. And marking the murders with ghoulish signs that warn of more evil to come. It's a crude camouflage that has Detective Alex Mills stumped. As he has done before, Mills turns to his buddy, the reluctant psychic Gus Parker. His visions, as cryptic and baffling as they sometimes are, mean something. And again, it's the same story. I have the advanced copy of this, and I haven't got to it yet. So all these things have to be dealt with in quick order for October. I need to get October under control. Let's see the first of the boxes here. See, this is how you do a mail haul. None of that maundering all around. We'll just zip right through this. What is this? Oh, okay. Okay, great. This is from Oxford University Press. And it comes out when? When do you come out? When are you? Okay, you've got tons and tons of praise. November 1st. Okay, and it is another India book. It's my second India book of the day. This is by Ravi Agrawal, and it is India Connected. Look at that cover. It's not only a second India book, it's a second India book with a great cover. The rise of smartphones, and with them access to the internet, has caused nothing short of a revolution in India. Not just India either, lots of places. In the West, technological advances have progressed step by step, from landline phones to dial-up connections on PCs, to broadband access, wireless, and now 4G data on phones. But the vast majority of Indians, particularly low-income and rural citizens, have leapfrogged straight to the smartphone era, disrupting centuries of tradition and barriers of wealth, language, literacy, and gender. And in this book, former CNN South Asia bureau chief and award-winning journalist Ravi Agrawal takes the reader on a journey across India, through remote rural villages and massive metropolises, to show how smartphones have affected staggering changes across all facets of Indian life. Incredible. Incredible. I am on board. Oh my. Okay, that's a November release. November 1st. That means November 1st is... That means it's just an arbitrary date. I don't think this thing has a strict release date. I will get right to it, and I will read it tonight. Wonderful. Fantastic. Of course, when I lived in India and I loved it. There was no internet. There were no cell phones. There was nothing like that at all. It was a totally different era. But now we'll move on to the next box. That was a very promising box. Let's see what this next one is. Are you ready for this, Bean? Are you ready for this? Another box for you? Let's see. Oh, good Lord. Okay. Okay. This is an anthology edited by John Locke, Cleves Whitney, and Joseph Hogan, and is finding a new Midwestern history. Right after India, we get the Midwest, the American Midwest. In comparison with such regions as the South, the Far West, and New England, the Midwest and its culture have been neglected by scholars and by popular press. Historians, as well as literary and art critics, tend not to examine the Midwest in depth in their academic work. And in the popular imagination, the Midwest was never ascended to the level of the proud literary South, the cultured democratic Northeast, or the hip, innovative West Coast. Finding a new Midwestern history revives the identities and identifies anew the Midwest as a field of study by promoting a diversity of viewpoints and lending legitimacy to a more in-depth, rigorous scholarly assessment of a large region of the United States that has largely been overlooked by scholars. Incredible. Okay, so what is the date on this thing? November 1st. Again, so November 1st we'll see the publication of a book on India, where I used to live and loved, and the Midwest, where I used to live and loved. And how uncanny. All right, so next we have this big box. And if this is about the west coast of Ireland, I've got plots. That would be just a bit too coincidental for some. So what have we got? What have we got here? Oh, no. Oh, my. Okay. All right, so one of these is a double from earlier. This is a second copy of A New History of the Vampire. But along with it, how wonderful. What a great pairing. Along with it, also for a Halloween release date, is the paperback of Ronald Hutton's The Witch, which was a tremendous book. I didn't realize how tremendous it was when I first got the advanced copy, and then when I got the finished copy. I thought it was just very good, but I've been going back to it. I've gone back to my copy over and over again, and here's a nice black paperback. And they sent it, Yale sent it together, The Vampire and the Witch together. Okay, all right, that's kind of nice. And that is it. See, that's how you do it. So we have The Vampire and the Witch. We have a history of the American Midwest and a study of the effect of cell phones on India. Especially rural India, I would imagine. Incredible. In the Midwest and India, next to each other, in the same mail hall to me. And then Dig Your Grave, the finished paperback of a new murder mystery, and In the House in the Dark of the Woods by Laird Hunt. So that is our second little mail visit of today. And look at that, well under 10 minutes. There you go. So I'm going to clean up the mess that the bean has made, and then I will retire to reading and writing for the evening. But I will see you tomorrow. Thank you, BookTube.